steps don't match the rhythm one man you can see. They creep slow, deliberate, like a watchman on patrol, waiting to see who dares tread where they operate. Oh, there's the shadow there. It's the anchor's call. Ain't nothing flickers or the whispers. This figure stands tall, blacker than a pitch, in the middle of the road, watching with eyes that ain't near. Old Mrs. Carter, very fascinated, is saw more partner's troubles than most. And swore she saw him one night. She said he stood so still she could hear her heart beating in her ears like the drum of war. And in a blink, he was gone, like the dark itself pulled him away.
I'm shocked at how few people actually know why they're losing their hearing. They have no idea what's happening inside their ear. The hairs inside your inner ear are not actually hairs in the way that you think. They are these tiny filaments called stereocilia that are the top part of hair cells, and they move around in the fluid inside a spiral bone in your ear called the cochlea. The sounds around you are sent through your ear, they pass through your eardrum, and a series of tiny bones, and then are turned into waves in the fluid of the cochlea. The stereocilia send messages to your brain depending on how they move in the fluid, just like seaweed drifting this way and that way in the ocean current. They read the movement of these waves and pass that information to your brain, where you can use it to understand the sound all around you. But here's the crazy part. These stereocilia are so accurate that they can detect if they move just one atom in distance. It's amazing. However, because they're not actual hairs, this means that as you age and they get damaged, they don't regrow like a regular hair would. Sadly, this is a problem for all mammals because birds, fish, and reptiles can all regrow these cells. So they don't experience hearing loss as they age. It's just us humans and our cats, dogs, and other mammals that have to deal with it. And you've probably already noticed that the first sounds you lose are higher frequency sounds. This means women and children are harder to understand than men because their voices are higher. But it's also why certain letters become harder to pick up. Consonants like S's and hard K's are much higher frequency than the low vibration of a vowel like an O or an R. You can try it for yourself, just if you try a few and
they're going home, I think.
And compare it to something like an O or an R, you could easily hear that those hard consonants are much higher pitched than the low vowels. And the problem is, when you lose some of those consonants, it doesn't just mean that you lose a letter here and there from a sentence. No, it means you really struggle to tell where one word ends and another one begins. So even if you hear most of the sounds that someone is saying, it's like you've lost your navigation. When humans talk, we're not actually listening to every single sound the other person says. Your brain is constantly modeling and predicting and spotting patterns to kind of fill in the blanks all the time. That's how you're able to process this information so quickly, and why, even if someone speaks with a different accent or a tone that you're not used to, your brain can still work out what they're saying pretty easily. But as you age and you lose those high frequencies, you lose so much information when you miss some of those consonant sounds. And now you actually have to listen to every sound and try to use that to understand the meaning. This is why you find it so much more tiring to listen to people than before when you have hearing loss. Conversations when you have good hearing are a passive process. You just do it without thinking. But when you have hearing loss, if you want to talk to someone, you have to actively put in effort. It's stressful and it's exhausting. And a lot of that is down to losing these higher frequencies.